100 Sets Productions.
Okay, so clap once so I can get the sound line. Perfect. And then whenever you're ready, we get your story.
Maybe the worst show since I have been headlining and closing shows. 2011 in Los Angeles, I was on a show. It was National Lampoon, which is still a thing, I guess. They had the National Lampoon Twitter Award Show, and somehow I ended up nominated for a tweet or being a Twitter person or something. So they're like, come out to LA. I was like, great. I'd never done stand-up in LA before. The show was on Thursday at the West Hollywood Improv, 10 p.m. I did a show at a place called Bar Lubitsch before that, and the show went great. I went up in between Mark Maron and Sarah Silverman, and at this time, I'm still a young comic. I just started headlining. I'm like, this is the best. Oh my God, I'm in Disneyland. Sarah Silverman was very nice afterwards, and I was like, oh, I saw that she was nominated for a Twitter award too. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll see you at that show in an hour. And she goes, oh no, I'm not. That's going to be a disaster. I'm not going to that. I was like, oh, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. So I had a great show at Bar Lubitsch, then go to West Hollywood Improv. Eddie Pepitone was hosting, and then I was the first comic up, and so I didn't know what the situation was. But the audience was not audience. The audience was all Twitter famous people. So they don't perform, they're just mean on the internet for a living. And while the stand-ups were on stage, there was a screen behind you, and everyone in the crowd was tweeting about you. And it was scrolling on a screen behind you. So before I even said my first joke, I only did 5 minutes. Before I said my first joke, someone just wrote Bomb Hanks, because some people think I look like Tom Hanks, pre-beard specifically. People laughed before I said anything. I was like, what's happening? And I turned around and people were just tweeting about my face. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I did 5 minutes, and the first joke killed, the last joke killed. But in the middle, it was so bad. I was so depressed that when I got back to the apartment I was staying in West Hollywood, I had a bottle of whiskey in my apartment in West Hollywood. Usually when I go to a town, I'll buy a bottle of liquor first thing, so I'm just not alone for the weekend. And I was so depressed when I came home from that show that I couldn't drink. I couldn't even summon the energy to open the bottle. And I just had to go to bed sober and sad, scrolling through Twitter, looking at people who were in the room with me being mean about me before I even said a word. Oh man, they hated me.
Yes, I am your grandmother. Mama. 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 Yes.
100 Sets Productions.